does a meme have to do with crypto other than crypto folks using them? Coming up, we've got a panel with Bhargav and Eric. We're going to talk about DAOs. What are they? What about some opinions from the crypto world? Let's chat about it. Bhargav, Eric, thanks for joining the panel. Really appreciate you guys taking the time. And we're going to talk some more about DAOs and the future of them. So the first question I have is a big one, and it might even take up the whole panel. How do both of you perceive decentralized autonomous organizations integrating in the future into traditional systems like our government or the corporate world?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Yeah, really good question. I mean, to me, for example, if the city that I live in Chicago, and if Chicago were to be a big DAO, that would be, a huge win, right? Because if you look at it, I think we talked a little bit about transparency earlier, right? And would really be great for the citizens of Chicago to really understand where all the government funding is going and how it's moving, right? I think Illinois has been put as one of the top corrupt states in the US, right? In the past few years, we've had several governors get indicted for corruption. So and so from that perspective, I think Illinois might really need to be a DAO at some point to really function properly. But if you look at it, even from voting perspective, right? There has been a lot of, as we had these elections recently in the US, a lot of chatter has been online about election fraud or things like that, right? Yeah. And so if all the voting for these state and federal legislatures were to be on the blockchain, there would be full transparency. We would know exactly who's voting and who's not. And it would be really easy to verify whether it's legitimate or not, right? So I think a city functioning as a DAO would really benefit from one, transparency in how the government funds are moving, where they're being invested, where they're being spent, and how people should vote for their representatives based on how the funds are being moved. Because if the representatives are promising one thing but doing a whole another thing, then it'd be really easy to verify and bring that change during the next during re-elections, right? So I think from that perspective, DAOs could really be powerful, and I hope to see some of that in the future.
Yeah, totally. And anyone could go on and independently verify, what's going on. Like you said, encourage some of that transparency. So if there is worries or doubt about it, it's that piece as well. Yep. And how about for you, Eric?
Yeah, so I'll take a bit of a different angle on it. The phrase DAO, DAO, that phrase in the context of the last bull run has become a buzzword, and it's getting applied to situations and groups of people that it really doesn't belong to. It doesn't apply there. So I think that there's a high chance that the term DAO is going to just disappear and never, really have a long lifespan. That being said, what are we actually talking about? We're talking about organized communities, and we're talking about automation, and we're talking about accountability. So if we can agree that automation is a trend historically throughout essentially all human civilization, if we can agree that that's the point of having a factory, and if that's the point of having robotics, and that's the point of having AI, if we can agree on that, then yes, more automation is going to happen as we move forward, and that automation is going to connect with communities. Again, if we can agree that humans have a tendency to group together and form communities for certain causes and purposes, if that's a fundamental premise and we agree on it, then great. Then that means that communities are going to start using more automation. And therefore, if we're looking into the future, if we rephrase the question, do I think that communities are going to exist in the future and that they're going to leverage technology to be more efficient at obtaining the outcomes that they're trying to achieve? I think there's no question that the answer is yes. Now, is it going to look the same that it does today? Probably not. We're in the early stages. Is it perfect today? No. I think that everyone should be asking themselves that question. what is the function of communities and empowered voting in civilization as we move forward? And the only way to find out is to join the Discord of some of these groups and check it out. Check out the Bankless DAO Discord and check out City DAO and check out, some other cool DAOs that are like Kraus House. If you want a great example of a community super aligned without question on one central topic, buying an NBA team in the professional realm and giving the ownership and at least the governance of it to the community, look at Kraus House on that one. These are the only way to find out is to dive in. So I would challenge everyone to dive in and find out for yourself. But I think there's no question communities are going to exist and leverage automation, and it's going to change how the ancient sort of authoritarian structures have run for thousands of years.
Yeah, sure. And I think there's that diversified angle, like when we look at, how it works with private corporations. Imagine a DAO as a corporation, like you said, owning a basketball team, and then everyone votes who's a member of that DAO. Do you want to trade this player? Are we buying this other player? The system becomes this huge, cool social experiment where, imagine an entire decentralized community from all over the world managing a basketball team. That's a movie, right?
It is a movie. It should be a movie. I hope they're recording. and speaking of which, you can go to, Rewind DAO. It's all about Web3 moving into, anyways, on and on and on. There's a lot of examples, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about the space, as you can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what you're pointing to for innovation makes sense. I think that point you bring up about automation becoming, is always being central to, technological and human sociological development. It's true, right? We're always progressing ways to make things easier and more automated. So I think looking at it from that perspective, it definitely applies. Now, where you mentioned some things where DAOs are being used where they don't need to be, and it's kind of become a buzzword. Can you guys think of some examples or some things that you've noticed where they're using a DAO or using the word, but they don't need to? Where doesn't it belong?
So let's do a fun experiment. Give me your favorite. What's your favorite food?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm a big shrimp guy.
Okay, and where's a place that you'd love to travel in the world right now?
Oh man, let's say Scotland. Love Edinburgh.
Okay, this is my impersonation of the vast majority of idiots in the crypto space. You ready? All right, we're gonna make a DAO about eating shrimp in Scotland, and you guys are gonna be able to go to Scotland anytime in the world, any time of day, whenever you want, with first class, and you're gonna have the best shrimp, Bubba Gump shrimp, barbecued shrimp, fried shrimp. You're gonna get all the shrimp you want in Scotland, and it's gonna be the best thing you've ever seen, and it's gonna change your life. And it's going to be awesome. And all you have to do is buy a $2,000 NFT, and governance is going to be on chain, and you're going to be more important than the best CEO in the world. Yeah. Bubba Gump shrimp in Scotland NFT DAO is starting right now. Yeah. And that's literally the state of crypto today. Okay.
That sounds like a great place to go and eat shrimp in Scotland anytime.
This sounds like a great way to get arrested and put in jail for fraud and to lose credibility for the rest of your career and to scam the retail market out of their money. And frankly, that's the state, again, of crypto today. So this is people need to stop doing this, right? It's so easy to do because I see it so often. It's garbage. And it's one of the reasons why there's a bear market at all. And it's one of the reasons why people hate crypto.
Sure. It's like some of the ideas, a majority of the ideas, when it comes to DAOs, crypto, projects, they're ludicrous. They've been done. They're redundant. They're money grabs. If it's not a scam, then it's not well thought out generally. So then you get these perceptions from the outside community, which gives the whole Web3 environment a bad name, because everyone's laughing at NFTs, for example, for good reason, because generally they're like, oh, it's a picture, but they don't realize, again, like we've talked about in previous episodes, the potential utility and where it is, useful, how it could be used, not how it is currently being used by a majority of the world, the crypto world and the Web3 world, just like DAOs.
Yeah, there's two types of scammers. There's the naive scammer and there's the intentional scammer. Now, the naive scammer is the one that you described, the one that really just hasn't thought out the model. What does it mean to put light bulbs on the blockchain? Like, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? Like, this is just not well thought out. It's a nice vision, well intended, but because it's crypto and crypto is this thing, VCs and angels and retail markets, they're dumping money at it regardless of the thinking. Now, the other one is the opposite. It is well thought out. It's by smart people that put diligent effort to organize a scam with the intention of extracting as much capital from innocent people as possible. And those, they both lead to the same end result, but one does it intentionally and one does it unintentionally. So either way, that whole thing needs to stop. People need to stop getting hyped up and excited. People need to stop throwing their hard-earned money at garbage before sitting down and doing the proper research. Yeah, I'm a part of City DAO because we're building something. There's no money like flipping. There's no get rich profit. There's zero. There's nothing of it. People try to talk about it once in a while in the community. It goes nowhere. We're a group of people that want to build. We want to change and have a lasting impact. And that to me excites me. Same with Kraushaus. And there are, good ones there. So anyways, I'm on a total rant. I'm probably off topic now, but you struck a chord.
No, it's fair. And it bugs me too. Elk is a project that's doing something. We're building real utility, something that works and it does stuff. So, and that's what you guys are doing at Meme.Market. It does something, it's fun. It's a game. I've been on there. It's like, it takes the whole concept of creative control, puts it in your hands, and then allows, you to gamify it and put it into the community. And it's just plain fun. If nothing else, it's a great time. So yeah,
I appreciate it. We're trying to just have a fun place for people to hang out and interact with. If it's worked for 5 years and plus on Reddit, like why wouldn't it work anywhere else? We're just trying to expand it. Yeah,
absolutely. And so I think it's a great idea, and people should check it out. So I guess one final kind of question. How did you two kind of start working together on Meme.Market?
Fate, man. It's fate.
Yep.
I was looking for someone that would have, deep technical experience that I could respect on that front and trust. Really, that's what I was looking for. I don't know what you were looking for, but
yeah, I think similar, right? Normally people have co-founders in companies to fill in the gaps of some of the skills they might lack, right? And I've built a company before, so has Eric. But I built the company from a tech perspective, and I lack the knowledge of going out there and raising capital or going out there and doing the sales, right? And so that's a counterpart I was looking for, right? And so that was my thought process when I met Eric. I was like, okay, he has those type of skills, seems like a good partner. And as we work together over the last year, there's a lot of trust that's been built between us because of the whole process. And I'm glad to be here.
That's amazing. Perfect. I can see the teamwork. It's a buddy movie in action.
Yeah, it's cool. We actually work together. This is actually right here. This recording is actually only the second time we've ever met in person. It's been over a year.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Captured live on Elk Station.
Exactly.
With Snake Plissken himself.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. My name's Snake Plissken.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah. But yeah, so do you see any DAO features coming into play with Meme.Market? Is there any crossover there?
There probably will be in the future. Right now we're very early stage concept. We're on testnet. There's tokens, there's communities, all this stuff is there. In the future, we'd like to see this be a community-driven project. We want this to be inclusive of all meme communities out there, all the ones that, within a certain realm of reasonability, I mean to say. We want to empower memers and people that love memes to do cool stuff. We do not want to be some sort of, top-down structure thing that is exclusive and we're gonna knock out meme communities. I mean, that's a terrible thing. That's anti-meme. That's like the wrong thing to ever think ever. So we want this to be inclusive of other communities. That's why we're working with r/meme economy. That's why we're working with Dank Memes Gang. That's why we're working with some of the people that we're working as well. Some of them are more anonymous, but yeah, we want to let this be an empowerment to people that love memes and content creators in that space. So what that looks like exactly, frankly speaking, I'm going to let them decide what that. I'm not even going to try and decide what that is. I want them to decide and be a part of it as we grow.
Yeah, and one last thing I would like to add is, the best way to meme is to meme with others, right? We've seen that on Twitter time after time. Majority of the people, especially in the Web3 crypto space, are just memeing on Twitter all day, every day. And they do it with other folks who are trying to do the exact same thing, and they're having a lot of fun. Sometimes, leads to conflicts, but majority of the times it's a lot of fun. Everyone's having a laugh and a good time.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you guys' time, and thanks for coming on.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
We'll see you in the deep north.
Thanks, guys. Yes.